and welcome to the Pederscope. We are rocking today. We are rocking because it is Wildly Wonderful Wednesday here on the Pederscope. We are, yes, we're on time today. We are talking about keys to being the difference, and this is episode 98. 98, can you believe it? Entitled Work-Life Balance. Hey, thanks for joining me. We're coming up to episode number 100 on the Pederscope. It's so exciting. Yes, episode 100 will be this Friday. Be sure to join me. It is going to be an absolute blast. We're going to make it a special episode. We're really going to celebrate, and we're going to have a party on Friday. But until then, we've got a couple of things to talk about. Today we're talking about work-life balance. And I know this is kind of a phrase that's been maybe tossed around a lot. A lot of people have different opinions about it. Some people think it's cliche. Some people don't understand it. I think it's a really interesting phrase in that there's this kind of subtle overtone when you talk about work-life balance. It's almost like they're two different things. And I think that that is a very interesting observation. I think that your life and your work are very much commingled. So it's a very interesting phrase. Let's dig into it a little bit more here. First of all, when we're talking about work, this applies to students as well, because we're talking about, when we're talking about a career, we're talking about either your professional career or your academic career. So students, you're not off the hook on this one. There is work-life balance for students as well. Now, when we talk about work-life balance, we're talking about obviously our career, and then the life part, we're talking about these different components like your relationships, your physical health, your spiritual well-being. Keeping these things in balance, keeping these things in check, sometimes can be very, very challenging. And it might be that you need more work in your life. Maybe you're kind of suffering with a work-life balance where you have a lot of life, but there's not a lot of work. And you're wondering, how long can I sustain this sort of party lifestyle without actually doing some work? Oh, Ashley has just checked in and she's given tons of love. Thank you, Ashley, for that. I appreciate that. All right. This is, I think, one important thing to, when we think about work-life balance, is that it's not only a time thing, but it's an energy thing. Because here's the thing. Boy, I'm saying thing a lot. Here's the situation. When you're not working, you can still be on the clock in your mind. Your heart and your mind and your thoughts can all be wrapped around your work, even if you're not on the clock. You might be at home with your family, but your mind is still all wrapped up in your work, and you're not able to give other people the attention that they need. All right. Work-life balance. I'm just checking, make sure I'm hitting on all the topics here. Yes. Okay, so how is finding and striking work-life balance a key to being the difference, you ask? Well, I'm glad you ask, and I know it's a struggle for a lot of people. Here's why. If you've ever seen I almost said a struggler, a juggler, if you've ever seen a juggler or a tightrope walker that is excellent at what they do, you know it's very impressive. Very impressive. It's funny, I actually saw a video yesterday of a guy walking a tightrope over this canyon or whatever. And what was interesting, this is the first time I've ever noticed this, is that he actually had himself tethered to the rope just in case he fell off. And I thought, there's just something about that. Like, it makes it less impressive. If somebody's actually tethered to the rope, it makes it seem like they're not quite the professional yet. They're kind of an amateur. And it just wasn't that impressive. But if you've ever seen a professional juggler or tightrope walker who just makes it look easy, it's very, very, very impressive. And the reason it's so impressive is because it's so hard to do. And when you find work-life balance and you can demonstrate that in your life, it makes a huge difference, not only in your life, but also in the lives of the people around you on two levels. One is the people that are closest to you, they're getting the time and the attention that they need from you. And then on the other hand, it's also an impact, or makes a difference, because other people look around and they see the balance that you have in your life, and they're like, how did you do that? Show me how to do that. All right. So here's an action that you can take today. We start with baby steps. Always start small. Just start with one thing. Start by asking yourself honestly, assess, is there any area in your life, whether it be your relationships, and when we're talking about relationships, we're not just talking about what you're getting out of your relationships, but what the people around you are getting out of their relationship with you. Are any of your relationships, whether they be family, social, are they suffering because you're working too much or consumed too much with your work? And then, secondly, look at your physical health, your overall well-being, and then your spiritual well-being as well. Take a look at all those areas and see, are any of these areas suffering, or could any of these areas be improved? And not waiting until you're retired, because then it's just other things can be work. Taking care of grandkids can be work. Anyhow, that's the encouragement for today. Just pick one area of your life to look at. Be honest with yourself. Say, hey, is my work overtaking the rest of my life? And then, maybe just pop in some Joe Satriani, give it a listen, and rock out. Maybe that'll help matters a bit too. Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this, the 98th episode of the Pederscope, Finding Work-Life Balance. You're welcome. Hey guys, all the previous Pederscopes, you know where to find them. My website, stevepederson.com. Click on the Pederscopes link. And we're closing in on 100, yes, and I have some news that I am going to announce on the 100th episode. You don't want to miss it. Also, I am giving away my free book, when it's done for free. Just sign up at bit.ly/Pederscope, and you'll be on the list to get your free copy of my book. Guys, have a wonderful day rocking out and finding great work-life balance in your life. Peace!